Breaking now, family and friends returning to the scene of last night's deadly drive-by shooting, gathering at McVeigh and Dolphin Island Parkway to remember 35-year-old Quintez Pryor.
Fox 10 News' Lee Peck back on the story tonight for us. And Lee, there was a big crowd last night, and most of them came back tonight.
Yeah, hey, Byron and Lise. Within the last couple of hours, they held a vigil back at the crime scene, many of them arriving with orange and black balloons to remember Quintez Pryor, who they say grew up in the Orange Grove community. They say there's still a lot of unanswered questions as to why all this happened, but his cousin tells me as they remember Quintez tonight, the message here is very simple.
To stop the violence, put the gun down. This is senseless, a senseless crime for somebody that didn't deserve it.
A lot of people came out tonight. You said y'all were wanting to have a family reunion.
Yeah, me and him was actually planning a family reunion, but this wasn't how we was trying to get the family together.
Meanwhile, the investigation is still ongoing. Last night's crime scene, one of the most violent we have seen in a long time. It has investigators working overtime to get the shooter or shooters off the streets.
A deadly drive-by shooting shutting down Dolphin Island Parkway. 35-year-old Quintez Pryor pronounced dead on the scene. The vehicle he was in riddled with bullet holes.
There were a lot of shots fired. Well in excess of a dozen shots were fired.
While the black car was the target, a 16-year-old boy also shot in the hip when a stray bullet went through the back door of his grandmother's car. While he's expected to be okay, Public Safety Director James Barber says it could have been a lot worse.
An innocent bystander, somebody just driving down the road, could have easily been killed by this indiscriminate firing on a busy roadway.
So what was the motive? Was it random or was it street justice? Barber says at this point they're looking at every possibility.
We did have two homicides, that were relatively close, and so trying to determine whether there's any connection between the two, what connection this particular victim might have had with whoever was the shooter in this case. And so right now everybody is a suspect, and so we are constantly working through that, who both victims talked to last or were last seen with. All of those become very important to us in the first 24 hours of the investigation.
Homicide investigators spent much of today canvassing up and down Dolphin Island Parkway for surveillance video. Barber tells me at this point they believe the suspect vehicle is a light-colored SUV. He says anyone with information urged to call Mobile Police. Live tonight from MPD headquarters, Lee Peck, Fox 10 News.